Today's chapter, financial statements of companies. Very good morning to all of you. Friends, this is one of the big chapter, financial statements, which is divided in two units. One is simple preparation of financial statements, as you are aware about the balance sheet pro forma and profit and loss account pro forma that we are going to see over here. And cash flow statement is unit number 2 that we are going to see after 3 days, cash flow statements. Today, I'm going to tell you about financial statements of company's balance sheet, P&L pro formas, and after that we'll start with some illustrations of financial statement, balance sheet, and P&L problems. But after the break, we are going to see what is a foreign branch, which is still remaining, that last part of the independent branch and dependent branch part. So let's start with this very interesting chapter and very scoring one, financial statement of companies. And in real life, this chapter is very, very important. So very good morning to you all, friends. Afrin, Mahadevji, Vidyaji, Aditya, Yogita, today new names. So बाकी जो पुराने स्टूडेंट्स है उनके नाम तो आज गुड मॉर्निंग आया नहीं. मतांजलि का गुड मॉर्निंग आया. Sir, when you are going to take foreign branch? Yes, Matanjali, just I explained you कब लेने वाला हूँ. So let's start with this financial statement of companies. What we are going to see over here, how to maintain books of accounts. So there is some change in the answer. So this amendment in the last year only regarding maintenance of books of company. Learn about the statutory books of company, prepare and present. So today we are going to see this part, preparation and presentation as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. So these are very simple problems which will give you 100% 16 marks, 16 out of 16. So please focus on those questions. Present and preparation and presentation of the financial statements. As you are aware about the balance sheet pro forma, now it's time to just put down all items of balance sheet in this pro forma and we'll get the marks. So it's very simple, my friends, and calculate. You are aware about the valuation of managers in the company and appreciate the terms divisible profit and dividend. So these two parts we are going to cover in next session. So managerial remuneration and divisible profit. Friends, this chapter is really very easy one. So every one of you, please answer this, please participate where to put all these items that I'm going to ask you. These questions are very interactive session. So let's start with this rocking session once again. Unit overview. I'm focusing on this preparation and of financial statements. So better financial statements means what? First thing in your mind. So every company, now company I'm not going to define because it's already covered in company law. So I'm not going to take that. But maintenance of books of accounts. As per section 128. Yes. As per section 128. Company Act 2013. Every company at their registered office, they must keep books of accounts. Books of accounts mean what, sir? It's journal, ledger, trial balance, P&L, and balance sheet. So these are books of accounts which you are already aware, journal entries, ledger accounts, on which basis this is based on the accrual concept. And according to the double entry system for every financial year to give the true and fair view. So friends, as per section 128, it is very important that you must maintain books of accounts and every company has to maintain it. And afterwards, we are doing audit, that is a checking by chartered accountant. So it's very simple. So friends, theory, yes, you can do by your own because I'm not a law faculty. So directly we will focus on those questions which are important one in exam point of view. Otherwise, these statutory books already you covered this in law, or you are going to cover it in the law. So still not over, but in law subject, yes, you have all these things. So we don't waste time in explanation of what are books of accounts, statutory books. You can see here, there are books of accounts. Annual return, yes, must be, every company must file this annual return in the prescribed form. So every year return has to be filed. So this is very important, within 16 days from the AGM. And then these are the some final account. Now this is a scope of accounting. Okay. So final accounts, what we have to present it in the financial statement. You know the word annual report. So annual report, as you are aware, in case of annual report, now balance sheet, what you are going to present to your shareholders, it's a balance sheet that you are going to present, sir. Then profit and loss account, in case of company carrying on any activity which is not profit making, then it is a income and expenditure. Third statement is cash flow. So this word cash flow, you heard this word cash flow, but cash flow we are going to see it in the unit number 2, that is the next chapter or of our session. A statement of changes in equity if applicable, and any explanatory note annexed to be or forming a part of any document referred to 1 and 4. So friends, these four items means what? Balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flow statements, or changes in equity, and notes to accounts are going to form a part of financial statement. So basically, before starting any other part, yes, we are going to write it in our notebook. So index. So first thing that you have to prepare index. Yes, index is big in this topic. So first do one thing, you have to prepare this index. Financial statement of companies. This index is of almost, yes, beta, this index is of 4 to 5 pages. It's a big index. Yes, big index, beta. 4 to 5 pages index. 4 to 5 pages index. Yes. After drawing index, write down financial statements. Financial statements. Write down, my friends, fatafat. Now I am getting many students messages or mails, sir, we are watching your YouTube live sessions of last batch number 3, number 4. It's my request, those students who are watching my sessions, please watch current sessions. Yes, previous sessions, there might be some amendments in this chapter. So I request you all, those students who are following me, so for this chapter, there are some amendments from in last batch also. So please watch fresh sessions and not previous sessions. Okay. So financial statements. What are financial statements, beta? Write down. It's a balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flow statements. Then you have statement of changes in equity, statement of changes in equity, and notes to accounts. Notes to accounts. Yes, but I'm going to show you, don't worry. I'm going to show you all these things in real life in next session. So I will show you one balance sheet of Bajaj Finance, or as you are aware about, due to this inflation in the overall global market, there is a problem in our share market also. In last 1 month, our Sensex is down by 5,000, almost 5,000 points. It's almost 8.33% is there is downfall in our share market, and still our financial statements, if they are strong and if you have good figures for your overall business, in that case you are 100%, I'm telling you, your financial statements, they are the actual, what you can say, it's a medium of exchange between investor and your company. So financial statements are very important. It is a language, accounting is a language of business, and how we communicate with shareholders, it's only a financial statement, because they are not interested in your journal entry, ledger account, trial balance, but they are interested in your figures of balance sheet and profit and loss account. So this balance sheet, what it means, it is a financial position. It's a financial position, that word you have to remember. And this is a performance statement. This word is performance statement. So financial business statement means balance sheet and profit and loss account. Rekha ji, very sorry for your yes, actually yes, Rekha ji, I do not have any words, but Rekha ji ने एक बात बोली है अभी. Sir, once you have told that your grandma died and still you have to attend your class on the very next day, and same thing happened with me yesterday. Yes, my grandfather died, but still I am attending today's class. Yes, beta, sorry for these things, but yes, CA is a course in which you have to be very dedicated, and this is a consistency which will going to pay you off. So don't worry, beta, and rest in peace for your grandpa. Chalo. So balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flow statement, statement of changes in equity, and notes to accounts. These are some financial statements that you have to look for. And balance sheet pro forma we already covered. So now friends, in your notebook also, you can write this balance sheet pro forma one more time. And balance sheet pro forma, there are some notes you can give it to your balance sheet pro forma. So write down your balance sheet pro forma first. Balance sheet pro forma, or you can take a screenshot from our study material and you can finish it afterwards. So we won't waste time. Instead of giving time for financial statement, we will give more time for your query part plus your question part. Okay, so question part को हम लोग ज्यादा time देंगे as compared to your financial statements, balance sheet and P&L pro forma. It's already there in your study material. Balance sheet and P&L pro forma. Just I will show you. It is in annexure part, I think. So yes, I just have to download it. In students portal, many students, they are not aware about these books also, where they are getting these books. Many of my students, Pune branch students, I asked them, sir, do you know what is RTP revision test paper? Then they are like, what is RTP, sir? We are listening it for the first time. So please friends, whatever material given by the ICI, just follow it properly. RTPs are there. Revise it after every chapter. RTPs, revision test paper, suggested answer, mock test papers, already there, all these things. So please try to solve each and every question of RTP, MTPs, mock test papers. So you can see here, there is a balance sheet pro forma. You can copy it afterwards. So where I am, what I downloaded annexure part. So 4.138 page number. Annexure is there. Annexure means addition. Additions are there. So this is called as annexure. So annexure आप बाद में download कर लेना, my friends. Yes. Page number is 4.138 page number, beta. Matanjali. Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013, Division 1. Now see, beta, this Division 1 is applicable to those companies who are not following Ind AS. So in exam, Ind AS is your CA final syllabus. So whatever balance sheet and P&L that you have to prepare, it's a division 1. And division 2 is there. Division 2, I think you do not have it in syllabus. So it is not there in your study material. Division 2, let's check it. Whether division 2 is given in the syllabus part. No. So according to me, division 2 is not there. No. So only division 1 is given. So division 1 is for companies who are not following. So as per syllabus, division 1 for the preparation of has reproduced here in the exercise of the power, section 136. So this is very technical terms. So effect from day April 2021 wide MCA notification dated 24th March 2021. So this annexure incorporates this amendments. Okay. So आप देख सकते हो यहाँ पे amendment के साथ दिया गया है. Your pro forma is like serial number, particulars, note number, and this is called comparatives. What is called as figures of the current period and figures of the previous period. So whenever you are producing your information to your client or your company, for any company, you have to give two figures, that is for the current period and for the previous year. So you can compare it. It's very simple. It's like your marks of the 10th standard you are comparing with the 12th standard, or 8th standard, your 9th standard you are comparing with the 10th standard. So these marks, it is a comparison how you are getting good marks. So this is a figures of current period and it is a figures of previous period. Okay. So see first one. So this is covered under the part 1 of schedule 3. It is called as part 1. Part 1 is a balance sheet. You can check here. This is a part 1. Just I will download it so I can write it over here. So annexure part. Yes. Okay. So this is a part 1 balance sheet. So understood beta? Part 1, you have to give name of the company and balance sheet as on. So as that means as on, you have to provide it 31st March 2000. Now it will be 23. So next year when we start, it is a 23. Particulars, note number, figures of current period and figures of previous period. So this is called as, yes, what it called as comparatives. So it is a comparatives. First head, equity and liabilities, shareholders fund, share capital, reserves and surplus, money received against share warrant. Now share capital. Now what is share capital? It is equity share capital plus preference share capital. Now everything is given in the notes also. So you can check here in notes, equity share capital. For each class of share capitals, that is equity and preference, and even for different classes of preference shares. So might be 8%, next time you issued at 7%, next time you issued at 6%. So every class of preference shares, you have to give separate numbers and amounts of shares authorized, number of shares issued, subscribed and fully paid up and not paid up. So not fully paid up also you have to present. So call scenarios. Par value of the share, that is the face value. So you are aware about the face value, 10 rupees, 1 rupee, 100 rupees is called as a face value. Then you have reconciliation. Now reconciliation means what? This is the beginning, at the end, how you are getting this, that beginning values, end values. So all these shares you have to present it. So this is outstanding opening plus issued during the year, buyback, which is equal to closing. So buyback, which is equal to closing. So a reconciliation of number of shares outstanding at the beginning and at the end, rights, preference and restrictions attaching to each of the class of the share. So this you also have to write. So rights, preference, and restrictions. Share in respects of holding company and their subsidiary, then you have more than 5% shares. This is very something important. If you have more than 5% shares, you have to specify this number of shares. So remember, each shareholder who is having more than 5% shares, you have to describe their numbers of shares, their names in your financial statement, in your report. You have to write down their names also. So such shareholders who are holding more than 5% shares, so it's very important. तो जिनके पास भी 5% से ज्यादा shares है, उनके नाम आपको लिखने पड़ते हैं. Now in exam point of view, beta, you don't have to write this, but this is in your practical life. Shares reserves under options and contract commitments for the sale or shares or disinvestment, including the terms and amounts. So those shares which you are given, which you are going to issue, like ESOP. ESOP now it's in group 2, employee stock option plan. Suppose if employee is in your company for next 4 years, then you are going to issue some shares. So that is not your obligation now. That obligation is after 4 years, but still such contracts has to be presented. So these terms and conditions, you have to present it to your shareholders. So it's very, very important that you are going to see it in advance accounts. ठीक है बेटा, it's easy. Then, for the period of 5 years immediately preceding the date at which the balance sheet is prepared, aggregate number of class of shares allotted as fully paid up pursuant to contract without payment being received in cash. So, beta, in simple language, it's like bonus shares. So, if any shares you are issuing instead of cash, so this has to be reported. So, every time, whenever I'm issuing shares, for the consideration other than cash, I will record it in under bracket under the head share capital. तो मैं क्या करूंगा, share capital के नीचे मैं हमेशा ये लिखूंगा, these shares are issued for consideration other than cash, and this information you have to give for last 5 years. Whatever shares you issued within this 5 years, last preceding 5 years, that you are going to write it in the notes to account under the head share capital. So friends, it's very important that you should mention whatever the number of shares that you are issuing in other than cash. Terms and securities, convertible shares that you have to write. Unpaid, calls in arrears, and forfeited shares. Forfeited means what? Direct entry students. Forfeited मतलब ये होता है कि those shareholders who have not paid the call money, not paid call money, and after giving some warnings, if they are not listening to us, that they are not paying their uncalled money, not uncalled, that calls in arrears money, is then in that case, we have a right to forfeit. Forfeit means whatever amount they have paid till now, that we are not going to pay them back. It is called as forfeited. So these shares, we are not, in case of unpaid money by company, that amount will be, for that shares will be forfeited by the company, and it's this forfeited shares afterwards company can reissue or company can cancel. There are two options. Company can reissue to some another person, or company may cancel this liability, and in that case this forfeited shares till that time it is shown under the head share capital. So beta, this you can write on the annexure part. So in annexure part, what is important point that you should know? So first one is calls in arrears. So first item is calls in arrears, and second item is add forfeited shares. Add forfeited shares. So these are some important points: share capital, calls in arrears, forfeited shares. So till now, do you have any beta query till now, beta? Yes, share capital. If you have any query. Annexure means additional, beta. Additional. Yes. Here we are going to see some additional information. So share capital, you understood it. Can you tell me why reserves and surplus are shown separately in company accounts? Anyone? Why reserves and surplus you have to present it separately? Yes, beta, it's like your 12th standard syllabus. You already covered it in 12th. this balance sheet pro forma. Many of you, those who are not covered in balance sheet pro forma in 12th standard, yes, this is one of the very easy chapter. Just fill in the blank, recall the pro forma and write down it in the balance sheet pro forma. So this chapter is very easy. Equity, and I know you already learned this pro forma at foundation level also, those who are following me from the foundation. Annexure is only additional beta, additional, not online. ऑनलाइन कहां से हुआ बेटा? हाँ, रिजर्व्स एंड सरप्लस के बारे में मैं बता रहा हूं आपको. सो रिजर्व्स एंड सरप्लस, is it mandatory to maintain reserves and surplus separately, and why? What is the reason behind it? What is the reason behind it? That just I'm asking you, what is the reason to have a separate line item? So in sole proprietor, whether you are showing say reserves and surplus separately, in sole proprietorship you are showing, or in partnership are you showing reserves and surplus separately? Then why for the company? What do you think? Yes, any one of you. Chalo, waiting for your answer. Sugarnesh answer, sir, reserves and surplus are the profit of the past years. They belong to the shareholders. It tells about the richness of the company. Okay, ये richness किसने बताया? पूजा जी. Forfeited shares are added to share capital ना sir? Yes बेटा. Dilip Rathod ji, yes. Reserves are utilized so they can show differently. Then why are you not showing reserves and surplus in case of partnership or sole proprietorship? Yes, what do you think? See beta, company is more transparent as compared to sole proprietor and partnership. In case of sole proprietor and partnership, users are very limited, and normally they are owners. You are not interested in watching the balance sheet of partnership firm, but you are interested in the balance sheet of Reliance company. So maximum transparency you can check in company. But in case of sole proprietorship, ultimately he is only the owner. So normally what he does, his capital will be added by the profits. Or in case of partnership also, you are already aware of these things, that partnership profits, we add it in their capital accounts only. But in case of company, reserves and surplus have to be added, have to be disclosed it separately, because suppose if I'm an investor of rupees 1 lakh, that is a share capital, I must be know what profits I earned till today separately, and in that also we have two separate profit, because there are maximum restrictions, or you may say कि इसके लिए बहुत ज्यादा transparency होता है, तो reserves and surplus has to be shown separately from the capital, and in that also you have some specific reserve and you have some free reserves. Free reserves means which are available for distribution of dividends, so you can pay dividend out of this. And what is specific reserves? Specific reserves means you cannot use it for the payment of dividends. So that is very important. So reserves and surplus are categorized into two parts. One is free reserves and second one is restricted reserves. Okay. So anyone, if you ask why there is a reason to show reserves and surplus separately, you have to answer it in the same way, that sir, there is a more transparency. Can you categorize these reserves? Yes. Categorize these reserves. What are free reserves and what are capital reserves? Yes. I am asking for this reserves and surplus. Can you categorize into two parts? One is free reserve and second one is specific reserve. Yes, please tell me fast, which are free reserves and which are specific reserves. In group 2, if I teach you the concept of employee stock option plan, where to show employee stock option outstanding, it is under reserves and surplus, so that you have to read whatever important points. You can fill it in the balance sheet only. So capital reserve, it's a specific reserve. It's a specific resource. Yes, beta. Can you tell me what is CRR and DRR? And when it is created? See, just it's a revision of your past problems, past chapters. Tell me what is the difference between CRR and DRR. How many of you can tell me the difference between CRR and DRR? Fast, my friends. CRR and DRR कौन बता देता है मुझे? जल्दी से बताइए. CRR and DRR. Security premium, excess amount than face value. Excess amount than the face value. Security premium is also specific reserve. Revaluation reserve, specific reserve. Share outstanding, specific. Yes, beta Tanishka, I am getting your answers. Surplus in P&L, it's a free reserve for allocation of dividend. A reserve specifically represented by earmark investment. And remember, if there is a debit balance means loss. Debit balance, you don't present it under the head asset, but it's a negative figure. It's a negative figure from the reserves and surplus. Negative figure from the reserves and surplus. So CRR or DRR के time का difference आया? Yes, my friend who answered very fast, Pooja ji. CRR is at the time of redemption and DRR is created every year. Which company, beta? Which company? DRR is created by which company? All companies. CRR has to be created by every company at the time of redemption. And CRR is for preference shares redemption. Very good. पूजा ने सबसे पहले आंसर दिया, अंकित गुप्ता ने आंसर दिया. वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. दिलीप राठौड़, ईशा जायसवाल. Very good. So DRR is created every year. Okay. And which company? All company has to create DRR. And what is the percentage that you have to create DRR? So it's just a revision of your past chapter. But don't give answers on Telegram channel. DRR. Answer it on our side, beta. Who creates DRR? Parveen Kaur. Yes, beta. Good morning. अब भी बता रही है. I used to watch your recorded session, sir, because of articleship. Better just try to finish it within live session only. Right? It's very afterwards. You can't answer all these questions. And thank you for clearing my basics. Yes, beta. Thank you. But try to attend it in the live, beta. Though you are having articleship. DRR is 15%. Who is telling this 15%? Beta, Pooja, please. DRR investment is 15%, beta. DRR is 10% of the debentures value. What happened, beta? It's unlisted companies. Unlisted companies. Now, many students answer it today. Yes, thank God. बहुत स्टूडेंट्स अभी फॉलो कर रहे हैं. एंड यस, टेलीग्राम चैनल पे भी बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ज्वाइन हो चुके हैं. वेरी गुड. बट बहुत से एक्टिव नहीं है. सो एक्टिव रहना बहुत जरूरी है. Whenever your faculty is asking for you some questions, you must answer all these questions. Okay. So DRR, देखो अभी DRR, those who answered it, it's wrong answer by Pooja ji, but then I can rectify her, na. So this is very important. Now Sneha answered it correctly. Aditya ने answer correct किया है. Vanthi answered it correctly, sir. 10%. See, this is a power how you can इंटरेक्ट विथ योर फैकल्टी, और वो भी बहुत अच्छा लगता है उसको कि चलो मैंने सिखाया वो उनको याद आ रहा है। हमें कितनी खुशी मिलती है। यू जस्ट डोंट इमेजिन योर मेंटोर और योर फैकल्टी हाउ ही इज हैप्पी विथ योर परफॉर्मेंस। इफ सचिन तेंदुलकर जब परफॉर्म करता था तो उसको सिखाने वाले को और ज्यादा अच्छी खुशी मिलती थी, ये याद रखो। सो मुझे वही लाइफ में देखो, मेरा ये नहीं है कि मुझे आपको ट्रेन करने के बाद जो खुशी मिलती है ना वो बहुत अलग लेवल होती है। मैं डांटता भी हूँ, आपसे प्यार से भी रहता हूँ, बट वेन एवर आई एम फाइंडिंग कि यहाँ पे आप गलत जा रहे हो, सो यूर फैकल्टी मस्ट शो दी वे कि बेटा यहाँ पे तुम गलत जा रहे हो, दिस इज एक्चुअली रियली हार्ड कोर्स। एक तो आउट ऑफ 100 ओनली 10 and 20 इज गोइंग टू पास, बट बेटा इफ योर फैकल्टी इज शोइंग यू प्रॉपर वे, स्टिल इफ यू आर नॉट लिसनिंग टू हिम, देन उससे ज्यादा बुरा क्या हम लोग बोल सकते। एंड डे बिफोर यस्टरडे ओनली आई टोल्ड इट इन दी पुणे ब्रांच क्लासेस कि मेरे जो दिल्ली के स्टूडेंट्स भी है ना, मेरे ऑल ओवर इंडिया के स्टूडेंट्स, वो बहुत अटैच है मेरे से। मुझे पता है कि मैंने बता दिया तो वो दे आर गोइंग टू डू दिस एक्सरसाइज। तो ये चीज ही मुझे चाहिए। मैक्सिमम स्टूडेंट्स ये क्लास में आइए, अटेंड कीजिए, दीज आर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट लेक्चर, स्टिल स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट टेकिंग बेनिफिट। इससे वर्स्ट थिंग क्या हो सकती है लाइफ में कि आईसीआई, और उसमें भी हम लोग प्राइवेट प्राइवेट प्राइवेट, चलो चलो ठीक है। मैं अभी इससे देखो, दिस इज अ कोर्स वेयर यू हैव टू वर्क हार्ड, और यहाँ पे हम लोग सिर्फ ब्रांच अकाउंट जैसा टॉपिक, आई मेड इट वेरी सिंपल। मे बी आईसीआई से कुछ रिक्वेस्ट करके थोड़े एक्स्ट्रा सेशंस मांग रहा हूँ, एंड 4 days आर सफिशिएंट बेटा। एक्स्ट्रा डे इफ आई एम गेटिंग, आई रिक्वायर, आई एम गेटिंग इट फ्रॉम अदर सेशंस, तो मैंने ये इसमें से कर लिया फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, बट मैंने कुछ ऑप्शन में रखने को नहीं बोला। आई टोल्ड यू ईच एंड एवरी कॉन्सेप्ट, नाउ इट्स योर टाइम टू डू इट्स प्रैक्टिस प्रॉपरली। प्रैक्टिस से ही तो आपको 60 प्लस आने वाले, विदाउट प्रैक्टिस इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल। आइदर अपने स्टोरी का यू आर अ मंकी ऑफ दैट स्टोरी, कि मंकी मतलब अंदर से आवाज आती है, डायरेक्टली वो चढ़ जाएगा। गोट और रैबिट होना चाहिए। फिश हो गए तो बेटा पहले ही छोड़ दो ना अपने स्टोरी में से। पेड़ चढ़ना है आपको तो। यस, DRR, वेरी गुड। 10% by unlisted company. %10 by unlisted company. Shivani ji, batch 5 with Sanket sir. Batch 5 with Sanket sir. चलिए, now if there are some negative balance, now what is important here? Reserves and surplus, employee stock option plan, that is a part of ESOP. So in this we are going to write only difficult one, and second one CRR DRR you are already aware. So negative balance, negative figure if P&L is debit balance. Yes, Preeti Panchal. In simple language, unlisted company you can write now, beta, unlisted company. Third one is money received against share warrant. Now, share warrant means what? Instead of issuing shares, you are issuing it in the warrant form. Warrant form means it's in the bunch form, in simple language. It's in the bunch. It's not like, आप one celebration pack कैसे होता है. It's not one Cadbury that you are buying. It's a bunch of all Cadburys. Okay. So it's like share warrants, and that warrant, money received against share warrant, if you are receiving it, then it will be recorded under not share capital head. So it is recorded under shareholders fund. Okay. Second one, a separate line item for share application money pending allotment. Now, what is share application money pending allotment? Share application money pending allotment means you go with the initial public offer. You paid some amount for initial public offer, and that initial public offer, if company has not yet given any shares, so yet company has not issued shares, till that time it is the amount is kept in their escrow amount, and escrow account, that money which is in the separate bank account of the company which kept by the company is called as share application money pending allotment, because you are not aware whether you are going to issue share for that person or not, and might be it's on the pro rata basis. Now that pro rata basis session, you have to watch my foundation company account session for share application money pending allotment. So beta, this is like escrow account. So remember the word escrow account, which you are going to share application money pending allotment. Okay. मतांजलि जी, मैंने अभी जस्ट एक्सप्लेन किया कि मनी रिसीव्ड अगेंस्ट शेयर वारंट मतलब क्या। शेयर वारंट क्या होता है बेटा, एक एक शेयर आप इशू नहीं करते हो, आप लोगों को डायरेक्ट चल दिए 10 शेयर्स ले, 20 शेयर्स ले, बंडल में जिनको इशू करते हो उसको हम लोग शेयर वारंट बुलाते हैं। आया समझ में? सो दिस मनी इज अ सेपरेट लाइन आइटम, बहुत ज्यादा डिटेल में मत जाइए, इट्स ओके। लॉन्ग टर्म बोरिंग्स, long term borrowings shall be classified as, now long term means more than 12 months. See, now how to decide it's a long term or short term? It depends on the company's cycle. Now company cycle, operating cycle. Now what is operating cycle? Operating cycle means, suppose if I am having a cash balance, I buy raw material, then from raw material I prepare finished goods, I manufacture finished goods, I sold finished goods to my debtors, and debtors is giving me a cash. So see, this cycle is called as operating cycle. And suppose if you are paying within this operating cycle, now it might be 3 months, it might be 2 years also. So operating cycle is separate for separate business. For example, if your daily products you are selling, in that case it might be a 3 months operating cycle. And suppose if you are selling some flats, okay, so you are in the real estate business, in that case that companies, that real estate companies, for them operating cycle is more than 2 years. Okay, so remember this operating cycle is different for different persons. Okay, so cash, raw material, finished goods, तो ये सब जो है इसको हम लोग बोलते हैं ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल. एंड इफ यू आर पेइंग विद इन दिस ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल, सो नथिंग इज मेंशन. सो इन सिंपल लैंग्वेज वी आर सेइंग कि इट्स 1 year. So suppose if there is no operating cycle, then you can term it as ki this is 1 year. If it is more than 1 year, it is a long term, or if it is less than 1 year, it is a short term. But beta, actual definition is depending on their operating cycle. So 3 months and 12 months, or suppose now maximum. See, now small firms or not very big firms. So big firm, they are following this operating cycle while deciding creditors and debtors. But suppose small firm में हम लोग कैसे याद कर लेते कि more than 12 months होगा तो it is a long term, and less than 12 months होगा तो it is a short term. So no one is going to calculate that operating cycle in the small firm. But yes बेटा, आपको बिग फोर के ऑडिट्स में ये सब देखने को मिल जाएगा कि एक्चुअल जो आप स्टडी करते हो वही चीजें प्रॉपरली. सो यहाँ पे आपको समझ में आएगा कि वहां पे आपको ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल कैलकुलेशंस भी करने को मिल जाएंगे. ओके, सो मेनी ऑफ कंपनीज दे आर कैलकुलेटिंग इट प्रॉपरली, एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट दे डिसाइड वेदर इट्स अ लॉन्ग टर्म और शॉर्ट टर्म. सो वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. सो टर्म लोन्स, नाउ टर्म लोन्स is also a long term loans from banks or from other parties. Deferred payment liability. So for example, if I have creditors to whom I am paying more than 1 year, okay, and I have some deferred liabilities that I am going to cover here. Then deposits from public, loans and advances from related parties. See, related parties, if you have taken any loan from relatives, you have to show it separately. Yeah, beta. It's a separate line item in your balance sheet. Long-term maturities of finance lease. Now, finance lease is accounting standard 19 that might be covered by other faculty in advance accounts. So finance lease now, if I'm getting advance accounts, then it's okay. I will tell you what is a finance lease, but नहीं दिया तो आपको याद करना, वो बता देंगे आपको what is a finance lease and other long-term loans and advances. Borrowing shall be further classified as secured and unsecured. So secured और unsecured जो होता है वो borrowings होता है, ये याद रखना. Borrowing shall be classified as secured and unsecured. And when loans are guaranteed by the directors, it has to be recorded separately. So directors loan और बॉन्ड्स और डिबेंचर्स और कन्वर्जन वगैरह वगैरह वो डिटेल में इतना जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. सो दिस ऑल हैज टू बी रिपोर्टेड. ओके, यस बेटा, यस यस यस, तनिष्का अग्रवाल ने बहुत अच्छे से समझ लिया. इन फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट यू आर गोइंग टू कैलकुलेट दैट ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल. तो मेनी फ्रेंड्स, मेनी ऑफ माय स्टूडेंट्स, यस, इफ यू आर अवेयर अबाउट द फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट, आपने यदि फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट के सेशंस कंप्लीट हो गए हैं, सो यू आर अवेयर अबाउट दिस ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल, दैट इन्वेंटरी will pay you off, that is inventory will get converted into cash. So that process is called as operating cycle. Very simple. Yes beta Tanishka. So what is new in this? Nothing. Other long-term liabilities. Now long-term liabilities we have completed. Other long-term liabilities means more than 1 year. That trade payable. Trade payable is there. But this payable is not short-term one. It is not within their operating cycle. It is more than 12 months. Okay. And others. Long-term provision. So long-term provisions means provision for employee benefits. Now, what is the difference between provision and liability? Yes, any one of you, please tell me what is the difference between liability and provisions. Can you tell me what is the difference between liability and provisions? What is the difference between liability and provision? Yes, tell me fast. Very good, beta. अरे वाह 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 वाह, स्वाति जी वेरी गुड, Suvarnesh very good. Provision means it is an uncertain amount. You don't know exactly. There is a liability, but you are not sure what is the exact amount. And liability means there is an exact amount. So exact amount you are aware, then in that case it is a liability. What I'm going to pay, I know exactly that I'm going to pay this amount. But for employee benefits means their provident funds. So provision for provident funds, we are not sure when he is going to retire or whether he is going to retire or death ho gaya uska. So whatever amount he is going to receive, that provident fund is called as uncertain amount, and therefore employee benefits provision is covered under the long-term provisions. Okay, and other provisions. So very easy. Short-term borrowings you are aware. Trade payable. Now trade payable, short-term borrowings is exactly same, less than 1 year in simple language, or which is within your operating cycle. So both concepts are there. Either operating cycle, and if you are not calculating operating cycle, in that case it is less than 1 year. Yes, very good. Very good, Matanjali, Shivam, Dilip ji. Very good. No, uncertain liability, ठीक है. Yes, ठीक है. Trade payable, देखो, MSME shall be disclosed these amounts, principal amounts. So what is the principal amounts of trade payable and any interest you are charging? See, beta, it's very simple. And see how it is shown in real life. It is less than 1 year, 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years, more than 3 years, and then total. Because if creditors has not paid you the amount, in that case, you are going to record over within 1 year, whatever creditors you have. And this is the best type of presentation. So at least, so more than 3 years, there might be a chances that you will get some, discount from them. So more than 3 years, if you are not paid, actually this is a long term, but still, if yes, short term, you are going to pay it within 6 months. In that case, it is shown as outstanding balances. Outstanding balances. You are not paid because of something. You are not getting any invoice from him, or might be he forgot to tell you, or he has closed his business and this amount is still payable. He has not yet settled this amount. In that case, it might happen that more than 3 years, that might be a long listing of your creditors, but these outstanding balances, remember, these outstanding balances, you have to record it less than 1 year, 1 to 2 years. So this is a presentation. Trade payable. ठीक है. So trade payable means MSME को 1 साल से कम. What is MSME? It is a medium, micro, small and medium enterprises. Okay, micro, small and medium enterprises. outstanding balances. So these are some creditors which are going to pay within 1 year, 1 to 2 years. So this is a presentation. ठीक है बेटा, today might be before this chapter. Yes, I can start directly with question part, but just I want to show you this from the CA point of view, how it differs from 12th standard. In 12th standard, you just have headings. In CA course, you have proper knowledge why this head and what you are going to include in this head. In real life, it is very important. Okay, so please make sure that every one of you, though it is a theory part, don't get upset or don't get bored of this theory part, because it will help you while solving illustrations. Okay, illustration में ये छोटे छोटे पॉइंट्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रहेंगे. सो ये बेटर होगा कि आप कितनी भी नींद सुबह सुबह आने दो. आई नो सुबह 7 बजे यार सर सेशन है, सुबह 11 बजे तो सोते हैं, 12 बजे सोते, नेक्स्ट डे वापस संकेत सर का सेशन, वापस अपने कॉस्टिंग का सेशन, थ्योरी सेक्शंस नहीं रहते. देखो प्रैक्टिकल सेशन हमने सुबह रखे हैं और शाम को थ्योरी सेशंस रख रहे. रीजन इज वेरी सिंपल कि आप लोग ज्यादा से ज्यादा फोकस करें. देखो, और प्लीज यही तो मोटिवेशन चाहिए ना मॉर्निंग में, कि कितना भी थ्योरी सिखाओ सर बोर नहीं होता है. बोर नहीं होना है आपको. हाँ, मैं डायरेक्ट प्रॉब्लम शुरू किया तो मजा आएगा, बट बेटा ये रह जाएगा वापस से. ये सभी पॉइंट्स ये कौन वापस, आप पढ़ने वाले हो क्या? मैं दे देता हूं आपको ऑप्शन में. चलो पढ़ लो. यस, आई एम गिविंग यू ऑप्शन. प्लीज टेल मी इट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. आर यू गोइंग टू रीड इट बाय योर ओन? If yes, I will start with problem part. And if you are not getting bored, then I will take the theory part. Yes, please tell me it in the comment section. If you all are ready, yeah, we will take this theory part. Thoda practical I will start. But before that, I have to cover all these points. Now, what you are going to include or what you are not going to include in your assets and liabilities. So, if you are going to read it, then I do not have any problem. But suppose if you are not going to read it, then I have to take it here. Yes. Tell me fast, beta. Chalo. So trade payable you understood. So what is MSME? Other current liabilities. Now see other current liabilities. Now this is a very interesting head. Other current liabilities. Now this is what other current liability head is. Current maturities of finance lease obligation. Now finance lease we will keep it separately. Finance lease, I'm not going to tell you what is the difference between operating lease and finance lease, because it will take minimum 2 to 2.5 hours to explain the concept, the difference between operating lease and finance lease. So it's better that you read it afterwards. Yes. Okay. Yes, everyone is saying, sir, continue with the theory part. Okay, very good. Now, see beta, what is interest accrued but not due? Now, this is very simple concept. What is interest accrued? Beta, previously, when I was teaching in 2015, these two headings have different meaning. So they are showing in the separate part. One is under other current liability and one is added to borrowing part. Okay. But now this Company Act, it changed these two words, interest accrued but not due and interest accrued and due. Anyone can explain me the difference between interest accrued and due and interest accrued but not due? Yes. Any one of you? Any one of you? Chalo. So interest accrued but not due in simple language. In simple language. See, I have taken loan on 1st April. Okay, not on 1st April. Chalo, I will take a loan on 1st of January. My financial year starts from 1st April. It ends on 31st March. And this is 1 year loan, which I'm going to pay on 31st of December. Now, according to accrual concept, you are going to pay, you are going to pass entry on 9 months. What is the entry that you are going to pass? Interest account debit interest account debit to interest payable. To interest payable. This is a 9 months entry. Correct hai? And interest accrued, but here you are going to pay. So what is the condition? Loan plus interest. Loan plus interest payable after 1 year. After 1 year. So on this date, on 31st of March, my friend, it is 9 months interest, but it is not yet payable because it is payable after 1 year. Okay, it is payable after 1 year. So it is not yet payable, but this is accrued. So this is interest accrued, but not due on 31st of March. Because loan is payable after 1 year, my friend. After 1 year, you are going to pay it. So it is not due. It is not due means payment के लिए due नहीं है. But on this date, this is interest accrued plus due on 31st of December. So up to 31st March, you are passing entry only because you are a follower of accrual concept. On 31st of March, you are going to pass entry for 9 months. बट बेटा देखो याद कर लो, एक बार हिंदी में बता देता हूं. मैंने लोन लिया 1 जनवरी को मैंने लोन लिया फॉर 1 ईयर, मतलब 31 दिसंबर को मुझे लोन रिपे करना है. 31 दिसंबर के बीच में बेटा एक आ जाता है ना, सॉरी दिस इज फॉर 3 मंथ, आई फॉरगॉट इट इज फॉर 3 मंथ्स. यस सॉरी, दिस इज फॉर 3 मंथ्स एंड दिस इज फॉर 9 मंथ्स. सॉरी, सो कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक. सो 1 जनवरी से 31 मार्च तक 3 मंथ्स का इंटरेस्ट. सो माई मिस्टेक इज दैट मंथ्स, नंबर ऑफ मंथ्स में कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक हुआ. हाँ, नाउ यू अंडरस्टूड इट. सो बेटा ऑन 31st ऑफ मार्च क्या होगा? ऑन 31st ऑफ मार्च पैसा देना नहीं है रे, पैसा तो 1 साल बाद देना है. सो अभी 31 मार्च को क्या होएगा? 31 मार्च को इंटरेस्ट एक्रूड होगा, बट पेमेंट के लिए नहीं आने वाला है. इट इज नॉट ड्यू. बट ऑन 31st ऑफ डिसंबर व्हाट हैपेंस? ऑन 31st ऑफ डिसंबर इंटरेस्ट भी पे भी करना है और आपका एक्रूड भी हो चुका है. सो 31st दिसंबर का 9 मंथ्स का इंटरेस्ट एक्रूड हो चुका है और 12 महीने का ड्यू हो चुका है. कितने महीने का एक्रूड हुआ है? इस ऑन 31st ऑफ डिसंबर 9 मंथ्स का एक्रूड एंड 12 महीने का देना है. 12 महीने का देना भी है. इंटरेस्ट इसको बोलते हैं इंटरेस्ट एक्रूड बट नॉट ड्यू एंड इंटरेस्ट एक्रूड बट ड्यू. अंडरस्टूड द कॉन्सेप्ट? यस, अंडरस्टूड और नॉट? Previously it was shown that interest accrued but not due under the head other current liability, and it is getting merged with short term borrowings previous. Now life is very simple. Both items have to be presented under this head only. Okay, so पहले बहुत बाबा पहले सिखाना बोले तो बहुत मुश्किल रहता था, बट ये संकेत सर के स्टूडेंट्स बहुत अच्छे से कर लेते, तो डोंट वरी. हाँ, तो ये हो जाएगा. Yes. Shilpi ji, batch 5 with Sanket sir. Batch 5 with Sanket sir. Income received in advance. So income received in advance, it's your liability. Okay, so that subscription received in advance, you are already aware. And unpaid dividend. So unpaid dividend. Unpaid dividend. Unpaid dividend. Unpaid dividend is also yet not paid. Suppose what happens now, in my case only I am telling you. My grandma, she at that time there were physical delivery of shares. Okay, physical delivery of the shares. And what happened? She changed the address. Okay, so she moved from one premises to another one in Pune only. But all dividends that were in the physical form only, that at that time it's like, you know, there were no demat accounts, so directly deposits were not there. So at that time क्या होता था? Amount by check. So dividend amount we are getting it by check, and that check now basically she moved from one place to another. So definitely जो previous उनका जो जगह था, so old premises पे all checks वहां पे जाते थे, and that owner, new owner, जो खड़ूस लोग होते ना कि अच्छे लोग नहीं रहते, so she never had given any check to my grandma, and we lost almost at that time almost 70 to 80,000 dividend. And when we got it, when we moved from demat, yes, physical delivery from physical shares to demat accounts, at that time we got our previous dividend also for some years. Okay, now tell me that dividend, if check is going return or suppose check is not passed, in that case it is in the company's books, it is showing a liability towards my grandma, and that dividend is called as unpaid dividend. Many times at that time it happened, suppose you shifted to abroad, in that case also at the time of physical delivery it was very difficult how to identify the shareholder and give the check directly in their account. It was very difficult, and that's why this type of demat account introduced by the SEBI. Okay, so see the benefit of this. I know कि हमने, मेरे पापा शेयर मार्केट में बहुत इन्वेस्ट करते थे, मतलब वॉट एवर ही अर्नड ही इन्वेस्टेड एवरीथिंग इन द शेयर मार्केट. सो आउट ऑफ 10 रुपीज ही इन्वेस्टेड ऑलमोस्ट 8 रुपीज. बहुत अच्छा था. और बेटा मैं ऐसा हूं कि मुझे शेयर मार्केट से दूरी बनाए रखना अच्छा होता है, बिकॉज इन 2013-14 व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड माय शेयर मार्केट का करियर, और मैं इतना यूज टू हो गया था, इट्स लाइक योर एडिक्शन. और एडिक्शन मतलब इतना बेकार होता है कि मैं पढ़ाते टाइम भी या मेरे ऑफिस टाइमिंग में भी मैं सिर्फ शेयर मार्केट देखने का. सो दैट एडिक्शन, एंड फ्रॉम 2014 मैं कमाता था 10 लाख उसमें से, और उसके वजह से मेरा पूरा करियर प्रैक्टिस और ये सब मैं उस पर ही ध्यान नहीं देता था. दिन भर में सिर्फ शेयर मार्केट, और फिर इतना सट्टा लगाता था कि फिर पापा भी बोलते थे अरे बस कर, कितना रिस्क लेगा. और रिस्क लेने के चक्कर में इतना डूब गया उसके बाद. सो आई फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट मैंने बोला ईमानदारी, रोजी रोटी की पैसा कमाओ, शेयर मार्केट से दूर रहना भाई. अपने को करना है, दक्ष का म्यूचुअल फंड लगा दिया, वो जो होना है वो होने दो. बीवी का म्यूचुअल फंड है, जो भी करना है वो उनको करने दो. मैं मार्केट में घुसा तो पूरा दिन मेरा उसी में चक्कर में चला जाता है. ओके, यस, चलो. हाँ, तो फ्रेंड्स, I hope you are getting this concept of unpaid dividend. So unpaid dividend, I explained you the concept of my grandma's shares, physical shares. At that time, that dividend were not cleared, and that dividend is shown under the head unpaid dividend by the company. Now, one more thing, calls in advance. I'm not going to read these all things. So remember, calls in advance is also shown under this head. Calls in advance is also shown under the head, which is called as other current liability. So where to show calls in advance? If shareholders are paying more amount to you, for example, if I call only 2 rupees, but you paid me 3 rupees. So instead of showing 1 rupee, yes, I will not pay you now. I will adjust it in at the time of call money. So that is called as calls in advance. Please watch my foundation sessions. You will understand it. Those students who are from direct entry, it is very important that you watch my foundation lectures. Hardly 4 to 5 sessions are there, and read only theory part. Don't solve any question. But those direct entry students, you can check it on foundation channel or our CF YouTube foundation batch. You will get these company accounts, and that is very important. So it is my advice to direct entry students. You watch my previous sessions of direct company accounts of foundation. Yes, beta. After 7 years, very good, beta. Yogita. After 7 years, that amount is transferred to investor protection fund. Yes, very good. Short-term provisions. I already explained you the provision difference. What is the difference between provision and liability? Actual amount and long-term amount. Okay, exact amount. Shivam Duriyaji, share market for beginners. No, don't check now share market. It's addiction, beta. In CA final also, I've done a lot of trading, but it's waste of time. And every time you look for that share goes up or goes down. So it's better, my advice to you, till CA, till becoming CA, just watch the market, but don't invest. If you want to invest, invest in mutual funds. Okay. Otherwise, no स्पेक्यूलेशंस, रिमेंबर सट्टा खेलना नहीं है किसी को भी। अरे हार्ड अर्न मनी है यार, किधर वेस्ट कर रहे हो? पैसा बहुत आने दो, इन्वेस्ट करो। 100 रुपीज में से 60 रुपीज फॉर सेफ्टी पर्पज, 40 रुपीज यस सट्टा, बट रिमेंबर सट्टा पूरा दिन निकाल देता है, इतना याद रखो। आइदर गो फुल फ्लेज इन शेयर मार्केट, and if you don't want that, suppose if you are doing it properly, your practice or teaching now whatever field you have or job, so in that बहुत मत कीजिए, बहुत मत कीजिए। और लॉन्ग टर्म में रहना, लाइक माय पापा संकेत सर, शॉर्ट टर्म विजन, लॉन्ग टर्म विजन पापा की थी। ओके, short term provisions for employee benefits, others. So this is a liability part. Asset part is very easy, so I'm not going to explain this now. Asset part now, that we will take it after some problems. So now I know other liabilities. Yes, we finished it off, every one of you. Yes. So let's move to some interesting question now. Now it's time for some questions. Okay, so if you have any problem till now in liability, yes, chalo. So let's move to now question part. We will start with some questions before break. Yes, just want to tell you, you have to categorize. Yes, how many of you can recollect the pro forma? So equity and liabilities, now you can check here this pro forma. Okay, see the pro forma, every one of you today. Just check. Yes, I'm just closing my eyes and show you the pro forma. Yes, just time taken. Let's check कितना टाइम मैं लेता हूं और कितना टाइम आप लोगे। सिर्फ आई विल टेल ट्रेड पेएबल आर नॉट डिवाइडेड इन टू पार्ट्स, सो ट्रेड पेएबल जस्ट दैट, other current liabilities, and then this is the assets part. So let's check the speed. Equity and liabilities, shareholders fund, share capital, reserves and surplus, non-current liability, long-term borrowing, deferred tax liability, other long-term liability, long-term provisions, current liability, short-term borrowing, trade payable, other current liability, short-term provisions. After that, assets, non-current assets, property, plant and equipment, intangible assets, capital, WIP, intangible assets under development, non-current investment, long-term loans, advances, other non-current assets. Then, sorry, deferred tax asset रह गया था. Current assets, CIT, CSO, current investment, inventory, trade receivable, cash and cash equivalent, short-term loans, advances, and other current assets. So this is hardly 26 seconds. 26 seconds it requires for this, and challenge to you for 1 minute. Okay, so day after tomorrow on Tuesday, you please tell me what is time taken by you for recalling this balance sheet. So 26 seconds is my target. Might be मैंने जो shortest बोला था वो 21 seconds का हुआ था, तो challenge to you is for 26 seconds. Okay, deferred tax liability, good question beta Shivam Singh ji. Deferred tax liability is difference between accounting profit and taxable profit, and that deferred tax liability you are going to understand it in the group 2 accounting standard 22. So for that time you have to wait for accounting standard 22. So accounting standard 22 के लिए wait कर लीजिए। नलिनी की कमेंट बहुत अच्छी लगी मुझे। So नलिनी एक स्टूडेंट नहीं बोल सकते, हमारे कलीग्स ही बोल सकते। आई हैव फिनिश माई आर्टिकलशिप इन 2000, सो सीनियर है मेरे लिए भी। सो इन 2003, दैट इज 20 years बैक, नॉट क्लियर CA and got married. Now I am almost 42 years old. Last month I decided to do with the CA and registration with the institute. I have watched your first lecture of November batch, recorded one, and it gave me more confidence that I can able to recollect all my basics. Very good. I have watched all your November batch recorded lectures and joined today for live sessions. Your teaching techniques are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nalini ji. And I pray to God that you will clear in this exam only after break. I know it's very difficult after break, but remember ब्रेक के बाद प्रवीण तांबे की स्टोरी याद रखना. कभी भी ऐसी स्टोरीज बहुत मोटिवेशनल होती है. सो प्रवीण तांबे की स्टोरी में फर्स्ट ब्रेक इसको 38 इयर्स के बाद मिला था इन राजस्थान रॉयल एंड ही नेवर लूज एनी होप. ओके, सो तब तक स्ट्रगल किया था एंड यस यू विल गेट योर डेस्टिनी. सो डोंट वरी, हार्ड वर्क पेज यू ऑफ. चलो, चैलेंज एक्सेप्टेड. यस योगिता, वेरी गुड. चलो एक काम करते, 8:15 is there, already there, 8:15. So we will take a short break and at 8:25 we will come back with. Till that time, if you have time, please read illustration number. Yes, till that time illustration number complete कीजिए. If you want to solve, we are going to see it in detail. That illustration 5, if possible, try to read it in break. We will meet after break. Thank you. And I hope liability side you understood properly. Asset side में दम नहीं है. So proper liability side is very important. And I hope I clear your liability side properly. And after break we are going to solve illustration number 5. If time permits, मतलब time मिला नहीं मिला तो भी I will take at 9:15. We will stop there and 9:15 को we are going to start with foreign branch का theory, last part that is remaining. Okay. चलो. Very good. चलो, take a break. Take a break. ब्रेक बोल दिया, दे दो ब्रेक, दे दो ब्रेक, देने को बोला 8:15 to 8. Illustration number 5. The following is the trial balance of Omega Company Limited. Now, first thing in your mind, first, what you have to check. Write down. What you have to check. Number 1, nominal accounts. In trial balance, not in trial balance. If yes, then P&L is equal to opening balance. Normally, these are normally, I'm giving you techniques. P&L opening balance. Not in trial balance, then P&L closing balance, because already P&L is prepared. If trial balance में nominal accounts नहीं है, so it means already P&L balance is already, all accounts are transferred to P&L, so it is a closing balance. Remember. ठीक है? Next one. So P&L opening balance and closing balance. Understood it, beta? Next. Land at cost. So some important points I will give you at the end. Land at cost. Plant and machinery at cost. So beta, depreciation at cost means accumulated depreciation is opened. Accumulated means provision. Provision for depreciation which has credit balance. Credit balance. Trade receivable. Trade receivable 96. Inventories. Inventories is, this is closing beta, closing asset side. Now, normally in trial balance, 11-12 standard mein we are given opening stock. But here, closing stock is given. What is given? Closing stock. So see, I am giving you stock. Yes, options. Options I am giving you. Understand it. Options. Normal option. Normally. Trial balance, debit, credit. Opening stock given in the question. Opening stock given in the question. And adjustment. Adjustment. Now what is adjustment? Adjustment means which do not have any supporting. Adjustment means which do not have supporting. No supporting is called as adjustment. Means you are not having any invoice or any voucher from which you can pass entry. It's called as an adjustment. So in 11-12 standard, it is only told that adjustment means which you have to give two effects. But when a CS student, he knows what is adjustment. Adjustment means we do not have any supporting from which we can pass the entry, which is called as adjustment. So closing stock. Closing stock we value as per S2. We value it as per S2, and that valuation I'm going to teach you in accounting standard session. So wait for some time. Closing stock, two effects. Now where you are giving opening stock effect, P&L. So in company accounts, in P&L, and here one effect is in P&L and second effect is in asset side. And we consider not opening and closing stock. In company accounts, we consider changes. What we consider? Changes in this. What we consider? Changes in inventory. Okay. So asset side, you are recording closing stock. and in P&L account you record opening stock and closing stock का difference. Opening stock and closing stock difference. This is normally. Options में option 1, option 2, you have it in trial balance, debit, credit, not in adjustment. You have adjusted purchases. It means opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock, and so this is all you record it in P&L, and only closing stock having debit balance, which you are going to write it in asset side. So this is option number 2. And beta, there is one more option, option number 3. Debit, credit. Here you have opening stock, then you have purchases, but this purchases means purchases minus closing stock. Sir, now how to identify? Beta, that's why I have given you this types of trial balance. Now only purchases is not there. This purchases is after closing stock. Sir, this is in your foundation batch. This type of option 3 balance is there in final account. Those students who studied foundation, in your foundation study material, this type of question is there. And then closing stock, which is on the asset side. So this closing stock, you have to record it in profit and loss account, and this closing stock, you have to record it in asset. So this is a type number 3 trial balance. Popular trial balance option shown is this one, but in exam, you may get this option number 2 also. Option number 2, at foundation level, you have option number 3. So you must be aware about how it is reflected in your trial balance. You can take a screenshot, otherwise you can write over this all things. Yes, and tell me over after writing this. Yes, you understood all these 3 options. If you have any query related to this closing stock, opening stock presentation, you can ask me. If you have any query related to this presentation. Yes, very good. But please understand, these questions are really very easy, but students are not getting it because they are not aware about the presentation. They are not thinking for the presentation. Might be you are getting option number 1. That option number 1 is you are following it from 11 standard, 11, 12 standard. But option number 2, this is very, another way of presentation in the trial balance, and this is asked in the CA exams. So option number 2 is normally ICI will ask you in the exam. And there is one more option which is at foundation level. I already taught this option number 3 to foundation students. Yes, getting it or not? I'm not getting a single query from your side, beta. This is option number 1. Where to present it? Then what is option number 2? In trial balance, in adjustment, you do not have this closing stock. It is adjusted in trial balance only. And option number 3 is very rare, which is at foundation level. Opening stock is also there in the trial balance. Purchases is also there, but this purchases is opening is already there. So it's only purchase minus closing stock where you are going to write it in P&L. In P&L, we take changes and closing stock on the asset side. बेटा ऑप्शन नंबर 1 इतना इजी है दिलीप राठौड़ जी, जो आप 11-12 स्टैंडर्ड से करते आए हो. Option number 1, in trial balance we have only opening stock, and adjustments we have, in adjustment we have closing stock, and that closing stock is given in the question. Now in this case, now you only tell me, inventories is already given, closing asset, adjusted purchases is opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. So here this is option number 2 is given by the ICI. Okay, simple. Adjusted purchase means what? Opening plus purchase minus closing. Simple છે. Then third one, factory expense will be shown under the head other expenses, and selling expenses also shown under the head other expenses. Write down. I will tell you this. We will present the P&L account also. So P&L account हम लोग present करेंगे. Debenture interest, finance cost, and interim dividend paid is deducted. So this is an appropriation item. So interim dividend paid is deducted from resource and surplus. This is appropriation item. Appropriation item. Equity share capital under the head capital, share capital. 10% debentures is long-term borrowings. 10% debentures, long-term borrowings. General reserves, profit and loss account, and security premium. Reserves and surplus. It's revenue from operations, sales, trade payable, provision for depreciation 172, and suspense account 4. Okay. Yes, beta. Tangible assets head now removed, beta. Okay. This is option number 2. Yes. Mukta, option number 3 is very rare option. Authorized capital 40,000 shares of 10 each. This is only for presentation. Figures in 1000. So this is 400. This is only for presentation. The company on the advice of independent valuer wish to revalue their asset. Last three zeros, cancel it, cut it. So the company on the advice of independent valuer revalue the land at 360. Now what is the balance of land? 220, 220 and 360. So 360 minus 220. This is 140. 140, we will add it on the asset side. 220, land will be recorded at 220 plus 140. And second effect, revaluation reserve. Revaluation reserve. So you have to update your trial balance. So revaluation, one asset is increasing and resource and surplus is increasing. So by 140 rupees. So by 140 rupees, asset is increasing and resource and surplus is increasing. Declare a final dividend of 10%. Now what is share capital? Share capital 300 into 10%. So your proposed dividend is 30 rupees. Beta, previously we have to pass entry dividend account debit to proposed dividend. Previously, before 2020, we have to give effects. But now there is a accounting standard 4. As per accounting standard 4, proposed dividend entry not to be passed in the books, and there is only note in the accounting standard 4. So beta, as per S4, contingencies and events occurring after balance sheet date, there is only note, footnote of dividend, and remember there is no entry. So previously there was an entry, but now proposed dividend we do not have to record it in the books. Record means we have to not pass any entry. So you can check in balance sheet the final, this note you have to write, no need of any entry, the final dividend not to be recognized as a liability in the balance sheet, even if it is declared before approval of financial statements as per accounting standard 4. Hence, it is not been recognized in financial statement. Such dividend has to be disclosed, only disclosed, and no need to pass any entry. So whatever you understood, you write it in the comment section regarding S4. Yes, beta. So you tell me what you understood about final dividend. Yes, tell me it in the comment section. I'm waiting for your reply. If you write it, it means you understood it properly. So write it in your own language. No problem. Like language means English or Hindi. हाँ, नहीं तो तमिल में लिखोगे. I won't understand it. Yes. So tell me it in the comment section what you understood. Suspense account, beta, wait for some time. Suspense account, yes, I'm going to solve that suspense. So whatever you understood. साहिल जी, ब्रांच अकाउंट के जो भी आपके क्वेरीज होंगे, you please put down in Telegram channel. Other students will reply. If I reply to all of you from my mail ID, तो बेटा मेरा पर्सनल काम हो ही नहीं पाएगा. So it's request. Other students will solve your queries. So you join that group and you can ask it in the group. Okay, that's why we created that group. Suppose if no one can answer your question, then I will answer it personally on that group. Chalo. So what you understood? Shweta Jain answered it. Sir, final dividend occurs only in notes. Very good. Vikas Bansal, no entry required for proposed dividend. Only note is to be given. Very good. Suvarnesh, it is not recorded in the year it is proposed, but recorded in the year paid. Very good, Suvarnesh. Very good. Afrin, There is no entry for this. We have to mention it in the notes. Very good. Only disclosure is required. Vimal Kumarji, Matanjali ji, we understood, sir, that proposed dividend can't be recorded in the financial statement. It is disclosed only in the footnote as per S4. Very good. Matanjali mentioned S4 also. Yes, many students answered it. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now suspense account. Suspense account 4,000. Now see this 4,000. It represents cash received for sale of some machinery. Cost of the machinery 10,000 and till today accumulated depreciation 8,000. So can you tell me what is correct entry? What is wrong entry? Yes. Correct entry. Wrong entry. Rectification entry. So waiting for 1 minute. Yes, can you tell me what is correct entry? Correct entry, wrong entry, and rectification entry. On very first day, on very first day they sold it, so no depreciation for this year. So what is the meaning of this? No depreciation for current year. What is correct entry? Simranji, batch 5 with Sanket sir. Batch 5 with Sanket sir. Simran Sharma. Now see, array, you already covered this in higher purchase here. Accumulated depreciation you already covered. Provision for depreciation. See, सबसे first one, what is the first logic? Cancel provision for depreciation on assets sold. So this is the first entry. Cancel provision for depreciation on assets sold. So what is the entry? Provision for depreciation has a credit balance. So debit to asset account. Now to asset means here it's a to plant and machinery. So to plant and machinery. So what is the provision for depreciation? 8 rupees. Till now it is 8. Okay. So now your plant and machinery balance ₹10 cost minus you cancel this 8 rupees. Your asset reduced by 8 rupees. So plant and machinery balance is 2 rupees. Second entry. So your provision reduced by 8 and plant and machinery reduced by 8. Cash account debit 4 to plant and machinery. How much you received? You received 4 rupees. And what is third entry? Now 2 rupees machinery you sold for 4 means you are in profit. So to profit on sale, 2 rupees, and plant and machinery debit 2. So selling price 4, WDV 2, therefore your profit is rupees 2. So these are 3 entries you have to pass. How many entries you have to pass, beta? 3 entries. First entry is always for provision for depreciation cancelled. Second entry for cash, plant and machinery sold. And third entry for profit oblique loss. Now wrong entry, you passed entry cash account debit 4 to suspense account 4. To suspense account 4. So what is same in these entries? So now here you are passing alternatively effects. Now effects, I'm writing all effects beta over here. Effects, number 1, cash 4 debit, provision for depre 8 debit, ultimate effect, plant and machinery 10 credit, and profit 2 rupees credit. So these are some effects. So see, 4 plus 8, 12 debit, 12 credit. So these are effects. So I passed all entries also only for understanding, and effects are also given. Now what is the same thing? Cash is, we passed it correctly. Now what is the wrong we have done? Suspense we credited by 4. So what is the rectification entry? Suspense account debit. Suspense debit by 4. Then you want provision for depreciation. Provision for depreciation 8 debit. To plant and machinery, we cancel it, so 10 rupees. And to profit, we have to record profit on sale. This is 2 rupees. So this is the rectification entry we have to pass. So very, very simple. If you want to take screenshot, and in index, I'm going to give you these entries. So don't worry. In index, I will show you these entries. So you can take a screenshot. Yes, sir. Understood or not? If you have any difficulty regarding this entry, you can ask me. So first entry, we have to cancel provision. Yes. So now you only tell me what are ultimate effects in correct entry. Chalo, in comment section, if you explain it, yes, I will understand you got the concept. So you only tell me what are ultimate effects in as per correct entry. As per correct entry, what is debited and what is credited? As per correct entry, what is debited and what is credited? I'm waiting for your answer. Debited accounts and credited accounts. Tell me fast. Debited accounts and credited accounts. चलो यार, चलो जल्दी बताओ. कमेंट सेक्शन में जल्दी जल्दी बताओ. हाँ, अंकिता यादव जी. डेप्रिसिएशन 8 क्यों लिया? बिकॉज देख ना बेटा, एक्यूमुलेटेड का बैलेंस 8 रुपया था. सो 8 रुपए से हमें कैंसिल करना पड़ेगा. ये क्रेडिट बैलेंस था तो उसको डेबिट देना पड़ेगा बेटा. अंकिता, किसका क्रेडिट था किसका डेबिट था करेक्ट एंट्री में? किसको डेबिट दिया किसको क्रेडिट दिया? अल्टीमेट इफेक्ट्स आई वांट. Beta, wrongly we credited suspense account. Why? Because it's given in the question that suspense is showing 4 rupees balance, and explanation is here. The cash received is recorded. Suspense account represents that 4 rupees. So wrong entry mein we have to give credit to suspense account. Oh, श्योरनेस ने सबसे पहले लिख दिया. करेक्ट एंट्री, डेबिट सस्पेंस 4, प्रोविजन 8, प्लांट एंड मशीनरी 10 and P&L 2. Yes. Yes. So these are ultimate effects. Out of that, what we are going to record? Cash we already recorded in wrong entry, but we have not recorded all these three figures. Now we will record this. Provision debit, P&L debit. Yes. So you can write now on question. What is the rectification entry? Provision for depreciation. So in exam, provision for depreciation, cancel it. Then suspense cancelled by 4. To plant and machinery cost, in exam use shortcut, and to profit on sale 2. Okay. So now we are updating our trial balance. So provision for depreciation -8, suspense -4, plant and machinery we are reducing by 10, and on updation, profit on sale, which will be shown under the head other income. So we will show it under the head other income. So update your trial balance, other income, and we will record it at rupees 4. We will record it at rupees 4. Okay? And depreciation. Now last entry, depreciation 760. Now your balance is 760 into 10%. So depreciation entry. Now here, what is the depreciation entry, beta? Depreciation account debit to provision for depreciation, because we open this account 76. So I will write one item on the debit side, depreciation 76, and I will add it in provision for depreciation 76. So this is my updated trial balance. So first thing, what you have to do in this question, update your trial balance. Update your trial balance by looking into adjustments. Okay. Over beta, all concept clarity over. We are going to solve it in notebook, this question. We are going to solve it in notebook beta. Chalo. So notebook में आ जाइए. Yes, and I will give you. Yes, beta. Illustration number 5. Write down in notebook with me. So this question, first question, so we will write it in the notebook beta. Yes, I will show you how to present it in exam. Chaliye. First question, so we will write it properly. Write down. In the books of, first question hai, so write down properly. Omega Limited balance sheet as on 31st March 2002. Write down with me serial number, particulars, note, and rupees in 1000. First finish the pro forma. Drawing afterwards. Roman 1. Roman 1. Please write it properly. प्रॉफिट ऑन सेल इज 2. ओके, प्रॉफिट एंड सेल इज 2 ना. मैंने कितना लिखा है? प्रॉफिट ऑन सेल इज 2. ओ सॉरी सॉरी सॉरी, प्रॉफिट ऑन सेल इज 2. ओके, प्रॉफिट ऑन सेल इज 2. आई रोट रॉन्गली 4. ठीक है. फर्स्ट वन, इक्विटी and liabilities. Equity and liabilities. 1, shareholders fund share capital reserves and surplus. Number 2, now only that items. So see the question, you have only liability side debentures, so only non-current liability, long-term borrowings, only one item. Only one item. Share capital mandatory number 1, reserves and surplus mandatory number 2, long-term borrowings mandatory number 3. Number 3, current liabilities trade payable. Trade payable. Trade payable total. Number 2, assets. Number 2, assets. Non-current assets. Non-current assets. Under that you have property, plant and equipment. Number 4, number 2, current assets. Current assets. Under that, current investment we do not have. Inventory we have. CIT, trade receivables we have. And I think cash and cash equivalent also we have. Cash and cash equivalent. Total. Beta, I forgot to take total. Total. Total we are going to write. Now P&L account. P&L account for the year ended 31st March 2002. Serial number, particulars, note, rupees in thousand. Serial number, particulars, note, rupees in thousand. revenue from operations. So now this is a new format. So please write it. I will explain it day after tomorrow. So P&L has some presentation, different presentation. So serial number, particulars, note, rupees. Serial number, particulars, note, rupees. Number 2, other income. Number 3, so revenue from operation, we do not have any note. Other income, we will write number 5. Then subtotal, 1 plus 2. Number 4, expenses, purchases, finance cost, depreciation, other expenses, and subtotal. And Roman 5, profit for the period, 1 minus 2. Sorry, 3 minus 4. 3 minus 4. Over notes to accounts. Number 1, share capital. Notes to accounts. Number 1, share capital. Particulars, rupees. Particulars, rupees. Particulars, rupees. Under that, write down share capital, authorized share capital, leave 2 lines, 1 line, issued, subscribed, and paid up capital, leave 2 lines, and take a total. Take a total. Then reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus. Serial number, particulars, rupees, rupees. Inner column बेटा प्लीज, appropriation भी है. 8 lines. 8 lines. Total. Third one is long-term borrowings. Long-term borrowings. Don't write particulars rupees now. 2 lines. 3 lines. 3 lines. After that, property, plant and equipment. Property, plant and equipment. Serial number, particulars, gross block, depreciation, net block. Serial number, particulars, gross block, depreciation, net block. 5 number, other income. 5 number, other income. Sorry, I forgot to take 6 and 7. Finance cost 6 and other expense 7. Other income 3 lines. Finance cost 3 lines. And after that 7 number, other expenses. Other expenses 5 lines. 5 to 6 lines. 3 lines. 3 lines. 6 lines. Draw fast. Now format is over. Draw fast. So total 6 notes, 7 notes. Finance cost 7, na? Other expenses 7 notes to accounts. And tell me over. Draw fast and tell me over. I don't think today we can finish with the, because this is the first problem that we are solving. Today I'm going to give you homework also. Yes. Next session, promise, I will take foreign branch, because now in 15 to 20 minutes is not possible. 9:15 को हो जाता था, but we will finish this problem. Otherwise एक भी नहीं अच्छा होगा और दो concepts हो जाएंगे. So let it be. First we will finish with this, and then in next session. So I am yes, on the proper track. So don't worry, beta. In next session we will cover this. Don't worry. Write down over after drawing. Properly draw कीजिए. मतांजलि बोल रही है ये तो मैंने 12th में ही कर लिया था. वेरी गुड मतांजलि. ड्रॉ 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 फास्ट. बाकी स्टूडेंट्स ड्रॉ कीजिए. ड्रॉ ड्रॉ ड्रॉ. Okay. Done with this format. So you understood how to present the answer in exam. First पूरे घर तैयार कर लीजिए, फिर घर में लोगों को भेजिए. Yes, पूरा format ready. And now it's time of only posting. So formats are very, very important. So what is the structure of solving this answer? Is very simple. First draw the format, and after drawing, yes, now it's a time for fill in the blanks. Chalo, start. Land at cost. So here, land in property, plant and equipment. Write down. Number 1, land, but we will write at revalued figure. At revalued amount. Red pen. What is the land's revaluation? 220 plus 140, 360. Accumulated depreciation, no depreciation on land, my friend. Don't use calcium, beta B. And 360. And second one, red pen. Plant and machinery. Plant and machinery 770 minus 10. But depreciation is not on WDV. So one student asked me, sir, why not on 10%? 760 minus accumulated depreciation. Reason is very simple, that depreciation is on cost, and cost is 760. And what is accumulated depreciation? Yes, take on calci. Accumulated depreciation 172 minus 8 plus 76. So accumulated depreciation is 240. So what is the total? 520. Red pen. So plant and machinery is important in this question. accumulated depreciation 240, this total, and this plant and machinery is 760. Understood? Very simple. Trade receivable. Where to present trade receivable? Directly in balance sheet. 96. Red pen, normal pen. 96. Inventory. Below that. 86. Above that, sorry. Bank balance, cash and cash equivalent, 20. Cash and cash equivalent, 20. Adjusted purchases. Actually, this is not the correct format, but okay, we do not have the information of opening stock. So as we are not having this opening stock information, so we are writing here purchases, but by taking adjusted. So this is red pen, adjusted. 320. This is not the right way of presentation, but okay, now we do not have the information of opening stock. So in next problem, I will tell you opening stock, how to present it. Okay, so 320. Factory expenses. Other expense. Write down. In other expense, you have factory expense. In note, what is the amount beta factory expense? 60. Selling expense. No, administration expense. Administration expense 30. Next one. Selling expense 30. Don't take total. Then debentures interest, finance cost. Finance cost. Sorry, in that debenture interest, debenture interest in that 20. Interim dividend pending. So just write on question pending. We will solve it at the end. Pending. Equity share capital. Authorized capital. Yes, beta. What is the authorized capital? 40,000 shares of rupees 10 each. So beta, this is 400, but this is only for presentation, so double underline. Authorized capital never take it in total, always take issued capital. So issued capital 30,000 equity shares of 10 each, 300. Hey, we will finish it afterwards. Okay, 300. 10% debentures. $200. Next, general reserve. First, we will write beta security premium. Security premium. Specific reserve first. 40. Red pen revaluation reserve. Red pen revaluation reserve. Please use red pen ना बेटा, रिवीजन के लिए बहुत यूजफुल है. So please red pen use कीजिए. You will understand it at the end. Revaluation is of 140. Very very important. रेड पेन से मार्क करके रखो. जनरल रिजर्व नॉर्मल पेन 130. P&L account opening balance now this is opening balance हा बेटा 72 because ट्रायल बैलेंस में दिया हुआ है. Add profit during the year and रेड पेन से less appropriation interim dividend paid. Interim dividend paid 18. Interim dividend paid 18. Next, general reserve over, P&L over, security premium over, revaluation reserve over, sales, revenue from operations 700, trade payable 52, provision for depreciation already over, suspense already over, 0 हो गया. Profit on sale under other income, red pen. Profit on sale other income 2 rupees. And depreciation we have to write red pen 76. I forgot that depreciation expenditure over. Easy. Now it's time to close notes. चलो पहले P&L क्लोज कीजिए. अदर इनकम 5 नंबर 2 20 120 220 120 5 number 2 20 120. Calculate profit or loss. 702 536 166 is a profit. We are going to add 166. 220 outer column. That pending part we have finished beta. So this total is 530. Reserves and surplus 530. P&L over beta, P&L over 166, 530, 300 is share capital, 200, 1120 minus 240, 880. So plant and machinery 880. And long-term borrowings 200. $1082. Yes. 1082. Tallied at 1082. You can check the answer. Yes, if you want screenshots, you can take. If you have remaining some part, if you tallied it, okay. P&L. Today's homework, share capital plus resource and surplus, long-term borrowings and PPE, long-term borrowings and PPPEE, other income, and we have done with this question. Yes, beta, easy tha, tallied. Now, what is your homework? Today's homework. Yes, beta, tell me fast. What is your homework? Tallied or not? In comment section. जल्दी जल्दी बताइए. 6 homework. आज बहुत सारा homework है. 7 homework. 3 दिन है आपके पास. 3 दिन. 6, 7, 8 homework. Homework means try it. Otherwise, we will take it in the next session. TYK 3, 4, 5, 6. In next session, I'm not going to tell you. We will not practice it. This is the first question, so I practice it. In next time, I will just write down over there. So you got the presentation now. So presentation you understood. So all questions now you have to try till Tuesday. Tuesday पे हम लोग try करेंगे. And Thursday को we are going to solve manager remuneration and divisible profit concept. So till Tuesday, you have to finish with remaining part, that is balance sheet P&L questions. So I already told you remaining question from 6 to 8 and TYK from 3 to remaining part, all questions from 3 you have to solve. So this is all for today's session. Yes, if you have any query, you can ask me fast. No, better debentures are not reissued. In exam, how to know which account is prepared? Shivam Duriyaji, you have to see line by line. Now there is only debentures, so prepare only debentures, long-term borrowing. So on question itself, you can write it, which head has to be prepared. Okay. So question पे लिख लिया तो शिवम अपने आप आ जाएगा. Tallied, Rafiq bhai, Prabhas ji, Shuvarnish, very good, tallied sir. So this is all for today's session. We will meet on Tuesday. Till that, take care and please do your homework. This is all from my side. Thank you. राम जी हो गया.